I love the Arnab Goswami impression that you break into, dude.
Yes, Mr. Chidambaram. Will you have sada dosa?
It's almost like I'm blushing with you. Like,
Stop, Ranveer. क्या कर रही हो तुम? मुझे शर्मिंदा कर रही हो. And recently now, after I fixed my sleep schedule, I've started having these crazy, vivid dreams. I've been on a trek. I've met the Prime Minister of Pakistan. This morning, I had a full-on conversation with someone. I was telling Joey Tribbiani from Friends that we can make content for old people.
like there's a lot of your internal cum that's turned into.
मेरा 2045 मेरा reel अभी आने वाला है next वाला. ये देखो, I'm 70 and I can do a backflip. And then we cut to someone else. देखा.
All right, not going to give you too much of an intro. I'm just going to say that TRS, which is now one of the world's biggest podcasts, was inspired by this person's podcast. Some of you might have heard of it. It's called KaanMasti. Jose and Suresh Menon created KaanMasti about a decade ago. He's one of the funniest human beings in the Indian media space. He's got his own cult fan following. The child in me, the fan in me, was extremely excited for this particular episode. And I hope that you enjoy this comedic podcast with Jose Covaco on the Ranveer Show.
Hey, no need to clap and all. It's okay, Ranveer. It's all right. It's okay. It's not that big a deal.
Jose in the house!
क्या हो गया इसको?
Dude,
good meeting you. We've had this conversation 24 years ago, saying कि let's do a recording together, and I said yeah, मिलते हैं. I'll just shit, really, it's been forever.
You want to know a fun fact?
Yeah.
When I began,
I'm scared. What do you mean by fun?
No, yeah. See, this is TRS. It automatically goes on inspirational tangents, and
Okay.
I'm trying to move away from it, man. Like,
So you called me. So you're like, I'm trying to move away from inspirational stuff. इसको लेके आते हैं.
I'm trying to bring humor, and I also feel comedians have a very intense sense of satire and intense sense of self-commentary.
Oh crap! Let's see how this goes then.
The fun fact is, 7 years ago, I began my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I used to put up cooking videos and fitness videos. Okay, I
What
used
are
to
you
teach people how to make
saying?
paneer and omelette and all
Okay.
that. And I would tweet my paneer videos at random Twitter celebrities, and I tweeted maybe 100 celebrities, and only 2 responded and retweeted me.
Are you serious? I didn't retweet it.
You retweeted.
Oh,
me.
thank God! What luck! This would have been a messed up moment. Oh shit! I retweeted it.
Yeah,
What's wrong with me?
My omelette recipe, dude. Thank you.
I think I vaguely remember this. I should have spent more time with you. I had way more followers today. Shit, what have I done? Wish you could time travel.
Dude,
Really? When did this happen?
2015, but your fan following is very, very hardcore. I'm a part of that fan following, dude.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Because of
Thank you.
KaanMasti. What is KaanMasti?
What is that? I vaguely remember something like that. I don't know what. No, man, it's been like 7-8 years now. I can't even remember the last time we did that podcast. Like, the pandemic sort of destroyed everything because we would do it like this, sit in place. This is the first time I'm getting out of my house, by the way, for Ranveer ji, because of that omelette recipe. I was like, that guy from the 1990s who sent me the omelette thing.
There's just so many data points here. I've heard a lot of KaanMasti. KaanMasti probably is my favorite podcast ever. Like, more than Joe Rogan Experience, more than our podcast, more than anything.
This would explain all your videos on semen retention and all that. Now I know what's wrong with you, Ranveer. Because you listen to KaanMasti, we destroyed your mind. I'm sorry.
On KaanMasti, you once said that when you meet KaanMasti fans, your first thought is, okay, so then you're a pervert.
Oh yeah, I'm meeting another pervert. Hello, hi, how's it going? I mean that in the nicest way, of course. I mean, perverts can be nice people also.
Yeah, like us.
Guys, please. Take this in the right way.
Dude, I've followed a lot of I've followed you from MTV What's Up and
oh shit. Where I had like a small animal hanging on my chin like that. I didn't realize how weird it looked. And no one told me also what the bro. I spent years thinking that's cool and all, but there was like a rat here, like someone killed a rat, stuck it over there, and they said, "Sir, aapka." And then there were people who'd say, "Sir, main bhi apna goti banata hu aapki tarah." And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with the people? Why would you do that to yourself? And when I look at those old videos, I'm like, shit, I look like that. Where were all the stylists?
Bro, you kind of have looked the same throughout. Like you've
saying
not.
I still look like that? Shit.
Like,
Damn it, I've tried not to.
Usually media professionals jizz when I say things like that. You still look the same as you did.
No. It's like looking at your old content, yeah. Like, shit, ye kya banaya? Should I delete it? It's got a lot of views. I don't know.
What about the life angle? In terms of, do you think about like your future, shit like that? Because we've been doing a lot of Bollywood podcasts lately. And dude, those guys especially, I think the women we've spoken to on the show are much more stable, but the guys are all taking a lot of stress, dude. They're all really stressed. Like,
women in general are more sorted, I guess. So yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. You can have like some statistics out. Have we had 10 guests? Out of the 10 guests, 9 cried, 9 were men. No.
We've had a lot of guys cry on the show. In retrospect, now I think about it.
I think guys in general take a lot more stress. No. That I don't think that's right.
Guys have it like kind of
pent up more.
Yeah.
I think maybe. Women watching this, those idiots. How they're discussing us. See? Producers, they're also like, she's tweeting someone right now. See, they're discussing our emotions. They don't know anything. I think everybody goes through some form of it. It's like the other thing of you can't be at your peak for your whole life. And that's something that you got to come to terms with. And in my case, though, I've never wanted to be at my peak anyway. So it's kind of like helped in some sense. Because I'm sort of like coasting along and just like if I have a thought, I'll make a video out of it. And they did well, yeah, this, that. No, now I'm sort of like chilling. So I think it's good to come to terms with the fact that you can't be at the top all the time. So there will come, and everybody will go through this. Like I see people they'll discuss celebrities in this way where they'll say, "Arey, this person used to be, so aaj kya? Aaj kya? They've aged. They're living their lives. It's normal." How can someone who was at their peak 20 years ago still be at their peak today? There are, of course, exceptions. Like Amitabh Bachchan will always be like top level. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's something I've had to think about a lot also.
But that's at a cost,
Yeah. You have
there's
to
a
want it
trade-off.
also.
Yeah.
And even being at the top there's definitely a cost. You're giving away so much of yourself. You have to sell your soul a little bit. And that's always been like the opposite of what I want to do. I don't even want to get out of the house, forget selling my soul, bro. So yeah, my God, what deep ho gaya. You are a good conversationalist. In the starting of this podcast, I didn't expect this, but well done, sir.
I love that Arnab Goswami impression that you break into, dude.
Yes, Mr. Chidambaram. Will you have sada dosa?
It's almost like I'm blushing with you. Like,
Stop, Ranveer. क्या कर रही हो तुम? मुझे शर्मिंदा कर रही हो.
So I just told you outside how TRS was directly inspired from KaanMasti, the format, etc., etc. Why did you start a podcast?
Big
so
mistake. Is that why I didn't do well initially? And then you were like, let me pivot to something more acceptable.
No, I think people just expect serious content from me, dude. I'm bracketed by audiences, honestly, at this stage. It's fine. I here's the actual question I have for you. How do I get funnier as like a creator? As a creator, are you supposed to only create what's inside? Because my humor is very dark, offensive, and maybe sometimes sexual. And so I think it's going to get me into trouble, which is why
especially considering the contrast. You go from inspirational stuff to then suddenly crack a sex joke. People are like, what the f*** just happened?
Yeah.
So I think there's only up to go. And your podcast is doing fantastically well, bro.
I'm just
thinking, we were leading up to this.
No, I'm
just doing fantastically well, right?
It's good. I'm curious about the future. I'm curious about the future. I'm curious about the future, dude.
But you can adapt. I mean, if it does, I really doubt you'll be in a spot where it's not doing well because you have amazing guests, you have great conversation, and I go through I've gone through all the comments. People are loving it. So, I mean,
Do you still watch porn?
Yeah, of course.
Why do you watch porn?
Nicely done. But oh, you mean real porn? I thought you meant like. Got you. Why do I watch porn? Oh God, I don't.
Why
know.
do people watch porn?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to check with my wife if this is okay. But I don't know why I ever started watching porn in the first place. Mama, I'm really sorry if you're not watching this. God damn, my mom watches all my YouTube videos.
Really?
Yeah,
Even
bro,
KaanMasti
ever since she got a
episodes?
phone, na, she goes through everything. So this friend of mine watches porn. I don't know why. As a culture also, we're not used to talking about this openly.
Yeah.
But
Joys of YouTube.
I think we all started watching porn when we were younger. I remember somebody had a book somewhere. Like, oh, what is that, a horse? Oh no, that's not a horse. Okay. And then it's just something you end up doing more and more, but not as much as I used to, I guess. I'm also in this unique space in my life now where I've reached, like I said, I've reached that midpoint in my life. Some things are just more important now than other things. And porn took a backseat some time back. I started spending more time in video games.
Nice.
And consuming content and movies and stuff.
What video games do you play?
I play freaking anything I can get my hands on, man. Mostly, so before it was the first-person shooters and stuff like that. But then once you become a dad, you need to be able to pause the game. So we've gone from porn to first-person shooters and pausing games and all. But you need to be able to pause the game. So I started playing, what's it called? Turn-based strategy.
Oh, okay.
Then
like Clash of Clans.
No, not Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans more like a real-time strategy.
Okay.
But yeah, I've played Clash of Clans also. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm more ashamed to say that I've played Clash of Clans. That's funny. Yes, I watch porn, but Clash of Clans too. No way. Clash of Clans, spend a lot of time in Clash of Clans, man. Strangely. I'm not a judgy video game person like, oh, you play these games. Everyone can play whatever games they feel like, I guess. But then I got into virtual reality a couple of years ago.
Like Oculus?
Oh, shit. Which is called Meta now. But I had a Valve Index first, then got the Quest 2.
What is that, dude?
They're virtual reality headsets.
Okay.
If you're still into porn,
Yeah. The word Valve Index just caught me off guard a little
bro, you're in the video.
bit. Okay.
Yeah, take your time. It'll come to you. You're in the video. You're not like in the video. You're there.
Bro, the one of the weirdest travel experiences I had in my life was when we went to Japan. One of our teammates is like a big Japan fan, you know, one of those dudes who says, "I love Japan and love anime and all that." So he insisted that we follow his travel list, and he took us to some cool places, man.
Wow.
But on the last day, he took us to a big bazaar in Japan, like the big bazaar Japan version. Okay,
For vegetables though. Or for like porn.
I'll tell you.
That's
So,
bizarre.
from the outside, it looks like a big bazaar. It's like a 7-story building, but it looks like a very normal, innocent building, okay? And it's got everything that you could possibly need in your own life. Like food, electronics, hair wax, anything you need, okay? Dude, and one of the floors that has video games actually, coincidentally, has one entire section, which is a wall full of just a lot of variety of sex toys.
Oh my God.
And sex toys for women, sex toys for men, all sorts of sex toys and lube and like all sorts of stuff. Do you know what a fleshlight is?
Yeah, of course. How can you say that you watch porn and then not know? I was just going to say that men don't need sex toys. I mean, the investment is much less. Like, how much money have you spent on sex toys? Not much, actually.
But some of those...
That's crazy. Some places are far ahead in that zone, right?
Apparently, Japan's having this problem where they're not being able to get their guys married to the Japanese women. And the guys instead are into sex toys and into... digital girlfriends.
Yeah, that's a bit much now. You know what I mean?
That's the narrative.
See, that's what people take examples like this and say, "Dekho, कौन क्या कर रहा है हमारे लोगों को. And then I am hopeful that people don't consume porn to the point where they're like they can't function at all. They're like नहीं मैं शादी नहीं कर सकता आप गुलाटी मारो. But you know what? I think as funny as this shit is, there's a deeper conversation to be had here also. Okay, I'm sorry to take you back into your podcast safe space, Ranveer, but I feel like there's a deeper conversation because a lot of people say, man, porn corrupting people, and it definitely does. I mean, if you lose your mind over it and that's all you're obsessing about all the time, and you can't have a normal relationship with a man or a woman because of that, you're doing something wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a big hole in your phone, they're doing something wrong. There's a hole in your soul, they're doing something wrong. So, I don't know, where do you draw the line also? Because such an extreme thing, na? I think what's worth is there are some of these documentaries worth watching on how porn is made.
Okay.
And how people are exploited or were exploited. I don't know if they still are. I'm sure they still are because it's a very murky business also at the end of the day, right? So, and a lot of it is very unreal.
Dude, you're kind of an evergreen brand, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I hope so. Let's see how it goes.
Like there's a lot of your internal cum that's turned into...
मेरा 2045 मेरा reel अभी आने वाला है next वाला. ये देखो, I'm 70 and I can do a backflip. And then we cut to someone else. देखा.
Dude, I'm damn attracted to you. Like...
Not something that happens to me often, but I'll take it. I'll take anything. I'm desperate now.
Like even I listen to you on KaanMasti, like your comic timing, it's too nice. Like
Thank you.
Even the way you react in your in the misheard lyrics, it's too nice.
Stop.
How do you get so nice?
I'll just around man most of the time. Normally I'm like this. Is there anything to eat? What's for dinner? That's me on a normal day. This is like, hello, hi, how's it going? Oh, Mr. Lyrics.
Dude, you're such an attractive friend.
Thank you.
Like I would want friends like you in life.
Okay.
I'm just being really
not useful to me at all. No. Thank you. That's a good thing, right? I guess.
I think all the KaanMasti viewers feel like that.
Yeah. I think that does happen. So when people feel like that about you, then they're also far more over familiar in the comments. Right? Hey, yeah. You know, they're like, yeah, you can do better than this, please. Huh? Like, bro, I don't even know you. Why are you talking to me like that?
Have you ever had a ghost experience?
Oh my God, I have.
Really?
But as a kid though.
Go on. Tell us.
So when I was a kid, I thought I saw like this dark silhouette come out from behind the curtains in my bedroom. Come out, grab hold of my neck and started squeezing slowly. Could have been a family member also. I don't know. No, probably not. And I was like, Mom. And my mom just slapped me and said, go back to sleep. And this thing was still sort of like choking me. And I think I said a prayer or something. I can't even remember. And then I saw it like back away and it left. And I remember as a kid thinking, man, that looks like Batman. So.
How old are you?
I don't know. I can't remember. I think I was in the 8th or 9th standard. So not that young also, but not that old also. And I also feel like as a kid, you're not completely fully formed up there. So it could have been a dream. And recently now, after I fixed my sleep schedule, I've started having these crazy vivid dreams. Bro, I wake up exhausted. I've been on a trek. I've met the Prime Minister of Pakistan. I have spent a whole night looking for my car. And I remember proper details of everything. This morning, I had a full-on conversation with someone. I was telling Joey Tribbiani from Friends that we can make content for old people. So as you can see this, there was a discussion about being old and content and all that sort of like jumped in. And now I remember every single detail of my dreams. I'm going mad. I'm going literally bonkers. This is happening as of now.
Yeah.
So when I go to sleep, I'm gonna dream that I was in a podcast, and and there was this snake there, and the host was not listening to me
Yeah, because the
whole
host was a big ball of cum.
Yeah, he was telling me about cum, and I'm like, the snake there. He's like, no, but the snake has come. Man, I'm going bonkers. Literally, this is happening to me right now.
Why did you get married?
Why? Good question. I feel like I got married because I found the person who shit. Sorry, darling. No, she knows. Don't kill me. I found the person who I could see myself with till the end.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Why could you see yourself with her till the end? Because of conversation?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Fair. For a second, when you said why, I was like, yeah, I get it. Who wants to get married? No. Why? Because she's amazing. She has my back. I trust her completely. And she's my best friend.
And conversation?
Yeah, big best friend comes in that zone. So if you can't have a conversation with somebody, it's...
Does she also enjoy toilet humor like you?
No.
That's how you channelize that into a whole podcast.
I was like, I'm doing this podcast because my wife doesn't want to listen to any of this shit. A lot of my content is that. She's like, just go do it on the internet. But I do feel like opposites attract though. How crazy. I mean, I'm sure people who are in the same spectrum also enjoy each other's lives. It must be kind of boring.
How did you guys meet, dude?
Wow. So we met at MTV. She was director, producer, ignored me for a couple of months. And then we just went out on a date or whatever. And we just clicked and that was that.
So you dated for a while before marriage?
Yeah, we dated for about a year. I mean, dating. What does that mean in this country? So we held hands. No. So the American concept of dating, and abroad you'll end up seeing more than one person at the same time. Here you get your ass kicked if you try to do something like that. I also don't recommend you see more than one person at the same time because then you're splitting yourself between people. You can't get to know someone really unless you give it your all. You're giving only 50% of yourself to one person, then you're like, 1 minute, pause. So what about you? You know what I mean? I don't think that makes sense. Maybe it works for some people. Maybe it works. But I feel like if you're going to get into anything with someone, give it your all. Even if it gets screwed, even if it goes down the toilet, whatever, at least you will have given it your all and then you know.
Have you had a bad heartbreak in your life, Mr. Jose?
Dude, yeah. See, fortunately, I can talk about these things because nobody knows who those people are. Otherwise, it would be totally wrong for me to discuss this in public because then you're putting that person in a really weird position.
Is your ex famous?
No.
Okay.
I mean, relatively, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No. She's starred in many films, I'm kidding. No, hopefully not. No one knows. No one would know, at least, hopefully. Because I was never public with my relationships or anything like that. And I've checked on Google also. You won't find any results. I was engaged to someone before this happened. That engagement, we called it off. And then I met my to-be wife, who I'm now married to with a child.
Why did you call it off?
So shit happened. Something happened in that relationship. I don't want to say anything about how she was or we, but we were not, basically, neither of us was ready. It was a really tough call. But our families and all had met. And I honestly think it was one of the best things I could have done or we could have done for each other, because otherwise then you're committing to something that you're not fully sure about. And that's the last thing you should do with anybody. Never get into a marriage thinking ki baad mein dekh lenge. That's the worst shit you can do.
What happens to your life in the month immediately after marriage? What do you realize then?
The first month is great actually, because you're like, wow, everything's so great.
Let's stretch that timeline. First 3 months.
You're coming down from that high. It's happening nicely. I think it's in your second month, third month, we're like, this is how you live? You keep your towel here? Shit. Put all the lights off. So you'll start seeing where your space ends and theirs begins.
What does the kid feel like in your hand for the first time?
Oh my God, I was shit scared. I was just holding her like that. And they'd just taken her out. My wife had a C-section. They took her out. And they handed the baby to me and said, you have to take her to that whatever. They put her on a scale or something. And then they put the baby through some UV lights and stuff to deal with the jaundice and shit like that. And I'm like, why me, bro? I mean, are you serious? So I'm holding her and they weigh nothing. They weigh literally nothing. Like your phone feels heavier. It's crazy. I took her and I was just looking at this. And in my case, I had no connection with the child at all. I remember taking her. I was just in shock that the human being was in my... I was just worried that, man, I'm going to drop her. So I really very carefully took her, put her over there. I remember she had this look on her face, like she looked like an old lady. She was like, like that. It was very funny. And then we got home and stuff a couple of weeks later. And I remember thinking, I felt like, and people said, once your child comes, your life is changed forever. And I was like, kaun hai ye? I felt nothing. And one night I was sitting by myself and I was like, man, what if she doesn't want to be friends with me? I don't know why I had that thought, but I said, what if she doesn't want to be friends with me? And I was just holding her. And then she just grabbed hold of me. And man, in that moment, I think I fell in love in that moment. And then I was like, I will protect this child with everything I have. Banduk lao! It was so bonkers, man. So crazy. And I remember thinking, man, in all these movies and all these discussions people have, they say that your life will change the moment you hold your child. But for me, it was like a week later. I remember telling my wife, I said, what if she doesn't want to be friends? And she said, what the hell are you talking about? Get the tissues from that side. My wife's going through all the pain. I'm like, she don't want to be friends with me. Crazy.
Very stark change of topic from your daughter to Ayushmann Khurrana.
Oh, Ayushmann, yeah, man.
You all used to host MTV What's Up together.
Yeah.
So, I have to ask you about Ayushmann Khurrana.
Please. What do you want to know?
What was he like back in the day? Like, did you know that this will be his trajectory?
No. Ayushmann is a gem, bro. My God. And so what can I tell you about Ayushmann? So, dude is so hardworking. He's meticulous. And he's determined. I mean, complete contrast to me. But when we first started, I remember VJing days and we'd all be in the same green room, this, that and all. This is now 2009. It's more than 10 years ago. When he said, man, I'm going to fucking do Bollywood. I'm going to become an actor and I'm going to do it. And I remember we were having a conversation and it had already been a couple of years of him giving it his all every fucking day, going for those auditions, really like working his ass off. And I remember saying, I said, dude, it's all... And we were having these like heartfelt conversations. We were all great friends talking to each other and stuff. And I said, man, are you super sure about this? Because it's been a while, you're really killing it. He was like, I will do it. And then he did it. Which proves that if you want to do stuff like that, you have to really want it. You can't just be like, dekh lenge.
And I think it
really work for it.
It also proves that Mumbai gives you the opportunity if you're willing to work for it.
Yeah. And Ayushmann didn't have any like godfathers as such or anything. He did everything by himself.
The hard way.
Then, what mad respect to him for that, man. It's really something.
Did you get to work with Raghu?
Yeah. The first time I met Raghu, so Roadies was at its peak. And I think they had called me in. First time I went to MTV, they called me in my first interview. Okay. I thought I was going in there to be a VJ and all. The person interviewing me thought that I was there for a sales job. And 20 minutes into it, I was like, I think there's some miscommunication here. They were asking me about sales and numbers and all. And I was like, okay, I answered all the questions because I had a bit of background in radio and all. So I did it. But then I was like, kya ho gaya? Anyway, second time then the VJ sort of like interview happened, But I met Raghu and Raghu met me. And this explains why I had the rat on my chin. But Raghu looked at me and said,
Ma-
yeah, I think that's understood. It's implied. He doesn't have to say it. He says, you have a weak chin. So I was like, I haven't even said hello. So he's like, you have a weak chin. That's all he said to me. And I don't even know whether he was out with me or not, because Raghu was like that. Sometimes he just be screwing on. A very chill guy. He said, you have a weak chin, and he left. And he left on their 2-month roadies, this thing and all. And here I'm left with just this thought. I ended up growing a big ass goatee like that. Doing what's up, Youngistan and shit. Crazy. That's bonkers.
Why did Raghu leave MTV, and why did it kind of...
I don't know, man. I think a lot of stuff just runs its course, man. You can't be doing the same thing all the time. Of course, exceptions to the rule. Like, I did radio for 10 years. Raghu did roadies for so many years. Sometimes things just run their course, and I feel like people also are in different places in their lives. He must have felt like he wanted to do something else. Maybe the channel wanted something. I don't know for sure what happened, but then they parted ways. But then he came back after that. There was 1 year where he left. They did another version. Everyone's like, nahi yaar, apne ko Raghu chahiye. So then they brought Raghu back. Then I think he did a couple more seasons, and then he was like, okay, chalo bas. He took that show to another level, bro.
Yeah. I think roadies, for a lot of urban kids at least, it's very synonymous with him.
Dude, they had to run around with bodyguards and stuff. Because people thought he was like that. Like, really, wo aisa hi hai.
And they're coming to hit him.
Yeah. People would threaten him and stuff. So they had to run around with bodyguards. And sometimes Rajiv would get the because they say, hey, Raghu. Kidding. But crazy. That was some mad shit. We tried to do a bit of those radio call-ins and all on YouTube only.
Yeah.
People started calling in, like, really sad and shit. And I was like, listen, we're not qualified to help you. I can help you if you say that your girlfriend saved your number as number 3 on the phone. But I can't help you if you're genuinely going through a problem. You need to speak to a family member or get real help. And that's not very entertaining on YouTube, right? It's really like heavy shit. So then we canned that also. I was like,
I will link all your handles. I think everybody who's consumed it till this point is on your Instagram page, etc.
yes,
etc.
Finally, some followers.
But I'm also going to link some of my favorite KaanMasti episodes.
Oh no, shit! Don't, guys. Unfollow Ranveer. He's about to ruin your life.
Just thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
I'm feeling jokes. I'm smelling things.
Oh no, that's me. I'm very sorry about that. No, but this is long overdue. We should have met like really long ago. Man, crazy.
It's all good, homie.
And are the guests allowed to give their reviews? And all?
Yeah. Please.
Very good. Thank you, guys. No, I remember the starting. We were just joking around, and Ranveer was like, "Bro, I'm not saying anything right now. I'm a decent conversationalist." And I was like, "Okay, dekhte hain." And he is. Oh my God, bro.
Thank
I hope I've not ended up saying more than I should have. I can't even remember now. Fucking hell, you got me in a bit of a trance, and I'm like, kya bol diya? Pata nahi. Shit.
No, you said some safe stuff.
Did na?
Yeah, but now it's time for the offline conversations, which I'm looking forward to even more.
Oh yeah. Of course. Thanks for having me, man. Mad shit.
Mr. Hoezaay, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Great fun.
Lots of love.
Great fun.
That was the episode with Hoezaay. I enjoyed just being near him. Trust me, there was a podcast on even when the cameras weren't rolling. After the camera stopped rolling, we actually went into much deeper, darker conversations. Things that can't make it to the internet. And that's honestly the sad reality of our times. We talk about free speech a lot. The internet has reached this stage where you can't really express yourself openly on the internet. You are going to offend someone somewhere. You are going to get cancelled somewhere. Lots of folks, not just Hoezaay or myself, lots of folks we've had on the show hesitate to talk openly on this podcast because it's just not the culture of the Indian internet anymore. It is a sad reality. I hope that it changes. If it does truly change, lots more comedic content coming your way, lots more comedy podcasts coming your way. I hope that you enjoyed this slightly hatke episode of the Ranveer Show. Tell me how we can improve TRS. As I've always said, we're just getting started. Lots more comedians coming your way on this show. Do give us your comedic guest recommendations for TRS as well. Drop them in the comments section. Thank you for listening in.